Hey guys, this is RC back with a new Let's Play series. This is for the game OOTP18. OOTP stands for Out of the Park Baseball. It is probably, or at least arguably, the premier baseball simulation game in the industry. They put out a new version once a year, and they are on version 18. I have been playing this since version 3. Uh, really hit my stride with it around version 6 and 6.5, which, using the numerations, if you play historical, that was the golden era of OOTP. Um, Still a very great series, still very powerful series, and what they do is they continue adding to it. Much like Madden football, every year they add some kind of new bell, new whistle, new tweak, and add things to it. Continually trying to make the game better, and certainly worth still getting, even after all these years. 15 years later, I've upgraded the version from version 15 to 16 to 17, and now I've got 18 on my computer. What I'm going to do, this is going to be a little different for me, and I'm not sure how it's going to translate to YouTube, but on my channel I do a lot of what we call in YouTube we call Let's Plays, where we actually play the game and we kind of walk you down the path that we're taking, and you just basically get to follow along as much or as little as you want. And my hope is that if you're a baseball fan, that you can follow along and become a fan of my team, and hopefully we see some fan comments down in the videos. And if you have any ideas, if you have any insight or input that you would like added or done, certainly mention it and I'll take it under advisement. I will tell you, the one thing I do not do is I do not play out the games in detail. I sim basically a week at a time, and then I kind of review what's going on to that point. I'm almost 50. I figure if I played out every game, I might die before the season's over. Time, as the Rolling Stones once said, unfortunately, is not on my side. But hey, that's okay. I am a California Angels fan. Of course, they have gone through several name changes, going back to the early to mid 1970s, which is why I choose 1975 as my typical starting date. However, because we are playing random, well, are we playing random teams? Let me see here. No, we are actually playing with the real teams. So I guess I could have played with California. Let's see. California's got, Ryan, Tanana, some really good guys there. Position players, Jerry Remy, Bruce Bochy, who became San Diego and then San Francisco's manager, Dave Chalk. Like Bobby Valentine became the Mets manager, Tommy Harper. So a lot of names that I certainly recognize. However, I decided, when I was following the Angels, and I became an Angels fan because of Nolan Ryan. That was the guy that, I gravitated to as a fan. But I always appreciated what the Royals were doing at that point in time. Why is that not? There we go. At that point in time, and Dutch Leonard, Paul Splittorff. They had a lot of guys that I really liked. Freddie Patek was a guy that I really enjoyed watching play. Hal McRae, George Brett, of course. The Tarpine incident. Who can forget that? And if you have not seen that, Google it or YouTube it. George Brett Pine Tar incident. Incredible. Definitely one of those baseball memories that I remember. And I'll be honest, while I grew up on the 70s baseball and loved it, Mark the Bird Fidrich and 1979 We Are Family, Pittsburgh Pirates, into the 80s with Ricky Henderson stealing 100 bases, the Montreal Expos breaking the heart of Montreal fans and moving out of Montreal. Just those were the heyday for me, and I think where I started to kind of tail off in my interest in baseball as a fan was probably right at the end or right after the steroid era. Um, I quit playing fantasy baseball around that time just because real life got in the way. Um, just different stuff, and just as the years have gone by, probably the last 5 to 10 years, I just have not been very uh, into the game of baseball, and I couldn't tell you. I live in Houston. I couldn't tell you anybody on the Astros roster today uh, if money depended on it. so, but so I always harken back to this era. And, this gives me, even, if this turns out to be something that you guys on my channel want to see, well, then it certainly is an era that I won't mind playing for an extended period of time and still see new players coming in. So we're starting with the current rosters as of that time, the current minor league systems. And then, of course, we will have the new rookies coming in annually, and those will be, of course, on the market for the amateur draft, which means, we could get a Roger Clemens, we could get these people. The reason I decided to play Kansas City, no real big reason, just I usually play with the Angels, but I did like the Royals. Their stadium was always impressive to me with the waterfall in the outfield. Another team that I would have considered was the Expos because, like I said, they had such a great team at the point in time that they moved away from Montreal. It's always nice to kind of replay and just see what would have happened. And that's something I've done in the historical aspect plenty of times. So I just wanted to do something different. I've never actually played with Kansas City, and really not sure what I'm getting myself into. Let's see. We have a average market size, above average fan loyalty, average fan interest, and the owner. There he is. The owner, his goals are to reach the playoffs, upgrade right field. We're projected to lose $750,000, but he wants us to make a $360,000 profit, and he wants us to reach the World Series. Now, those are a couple of years off. Playoffs this year, upgrade right field by next year, and he is a Dominican. All right. 46, tolerant in patience, economizer, so he likes to pinch pennies, hands off, so he'll leave me alone, balanced priorities. So that's actually not a bad owner. I think that was one reason I had started a league. I've got another league I'm playing with California, and my owner's a hard ass, man. Just just wanted to get away from that. Lots of pressure. New goals, we just went through that. So basically what I have set up is I've got the 1975 league, so we can take a look at that right there. So there's our leagues. I have turned off automatic expansion. I thought expansion was bad for the game of baseball. I think it diluted the talent pool too much, brought too many players that should be AA or AAA players into the major leagues, especially pitching wise, and I think that that hurt the game. So I am going to keep it basically status quo with 24 teams. I think that's more than enough for what we've got coming in talent wise, and hopefully, I don't know this for a fact, but because we are limiting the teams, hopefully when it does the amateur draft with the incoming rookies, that gives us a little bit deeper talent pool as well. So we are in spring training. I don't know how this game's going to react. Now, I do have a couple of other videos out for some basic reviews of the game, kind of getting through the different screens, also going through the changes and features for this version. So you can certainly check that out if you are so inclined or want to look at that. But we're going to get into the game itself. Let's see, anybody ratings? So it's telling me this guy's ready. So he is maxed out. So he can't get any better. I would say he's probably a fringe guy at best. We do have our active roster. So we're going to play. I'm going to go ahead and play to spring training begins and get me these first couple of emails. Tommy John is looking for a job. Hank Aaron, career intentional walks, 292. All right. Let's see if we look at off-season center, free agents. There we go. So yeah, I think Tommy John is about the only guy. Now he's 31, almost 32 here. Extreme ground ball. Now let's see, real life. I'm trying to remember what year. Was it? Let's see. 4 wins. Oh, here we go. Games. I'm thinking it was around 82 when he had the arm surgery. And no, that's 37 games combined. Was it 80? 85? Actually, what didn't his career end when he had Tommy John surgery? It was considered a success, but he wasn't able to come back from that. I mean, he was 40. No, I don't remember what year he had surgery. Oh well, doesn't matter. But he is the one, of course, that Tommy John surgery is named after. If you didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know that I need him or want him. Steve Busby, Dutch Leonard. They had a pretty good rotation that year. I mean, Paul Splittorff, his stuff isn't very good, but I mean, he had a pretty decent career. I mean, he was a 20-game winner, almost 20 games that year. He was with Kansas City his whole career. I remember he wore glasses, like big glasses. Uh, you know, that's what jumps out. I remember his baseball card. Anyway, so how are we doing here? We're going to move him up. We're going to move him up. We're going to move him down. Tom Bruno, 22. Like I said, he doesn't look like he's going to get any better. He is only 22. We can put him on our spring training roster and let him play and not cost us anything. First, left, and center. That's an odd position combination. He hit 210 in Double A. Okay. 21. Do I want to call him up? He's only got a little bit more room for improvement. He's got some good speed. I mean, it won't hurt to have him up for the spring to see what he can do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and, boy, those are some horrendous colors, that orange. Yeah. I may have to see about changing that. Let's see. You know what? He's a starter, is he not? Yes. So let's go ahead and go to a 6. 6-man rotation. Yeah, that gets Bruno into the rotation. All right, Freddie Patek, top of the order. George Brett, Amos Otis, and Mayberry right in the heart. That was a good team, man. Um, they suffered from the same problem that Oakland did, just a small market team, and they couldn't keep spending with the Yankees. And now you may not remember this, but if you go back to earlier years like the 50s, uh, they were the Kansas City Monarchs, and they were actually considered the New York Yankees' personal farm system. When they had a player that just got too expensive, the Yankees would come in and raid them and take their best players. I think that's where um, Roger Maris came from. In fact, was the Yankees bought his contract from Kansas City. So anyway, some interesting stuff there. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just blow through spring training if we can get through it. We usually get a couple of trade offers early on. All right, Buck Martinez is 26. Got some potential. Now, is he? All right, he's in my AAA system. Now, who do I have catching for me currently? Fran Healy's 28, so really he's stuck behind Healy. Healy is a free agent this year. Stinson is 29. Pretty similar, it looks like. Scrap iron. There you go. Buck Martinez. Now, he's got better gap and avoiding Ks, so he's not too bad. Who did he play for? He played for, I just want to look at the majors. Came up to Kansas City in 69 at the age of 21, so he's already behind the 8 ball. Milwaukee, Toronto. Let's see, what's his batting? All right, so he's been up to Kansas City a few times. Most recently 73, 74. So last year, 43 games, he hit 215, 272 in AAA, 250 the year before. So he's just not hitting well. But he wants to be there. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and call him up. Just to let him get some playing time. See, he's actually third string. All right, so let's go back to my email, and who would we get? Mike Beard. He's a left-handed pitcher. He's 24. He's on a minor league contract. 2 pitches, fly ball pitcher. A 2.40 ERA in Double-A last season. 2.89 with Atlanta last year in a call-up. Yeah, he basically had a cup of coffee in the majors for real. Couple of years he got called up for a few games just here and there. Looks like he had two full seasons in AAA in the bigs in 75, 76. And that's about it. So 465. My worst guy here. Now see, he has looks like much better. See, he might be an upgrade there. I mean, he won't be any better. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure Buck's ever going to play for us, but tell you what, let me shop him just to see if I get anything better. Chris Arnold. Frank Grundler, 25, first, third, and center. He's on a minor league contract. Mallory's first, left, and center. Who's my third baseman? He certainly won't replace Brett. Rodney Scott, not bad. Gates, probably be an upgrade there, but Gates. Frank White. I think Frank White went on to become commissioner. I think. Maybe I'm misthinking that. 35. Yeah, why Frank White wouldn't be starting there already? 5, 6. You know what? That's $290,000. I think White could start there. 221 though. Do I want to risk that? Let me shop him. No team, okay. No team. All right, so nobody will take him, which is cool. All right, I'm gonna reject this for right now. I just, I don't think it's a great deal for me. I don't think Beard helps me, and even though Martinez is stuck in my farm system, I don't see anything that's gonna really help me there. All right, another trade proposal. Uh-oh, Dave Kingman had to call it a season. The 26-year-old, a ruptured MCL, and he is gone for the year, a whole year. At least it happened early because he's going to be out 9 months. Wow. Ted Sizemore, 4 to 5 months with a broken kneecap. Boy, that's 2 big players. And Jose Cruz of the Astros, a torn PCL. Wow. Okay. Bellinger, Mark Bellinger. Boy, the names that just come flooding back to you here. Claudell Washington. Let's see, the Brewers and Cubs made a deal. All right, we got a deal from Detroit. Let's see, Mark Lemongello. That's awesome. Lemongello. And Steve Staggs. All right, Staggs, not bad. Not a great defensive player, but he can hit, at least, semi. He's in Double A, it looks like. Yeah, no, Triple A this year. Mark Lemongello. Yeah, I don't like his stuff. Yeah, I'm not feeling that, man. Not feeling it. We're going to reject that trade. Delete the messages. And let's go ahead and try to blow through some more of spring here. I will try to keep these videos under 30 minutes in length just because I think, it's easiest. It really affects the upload time and to YouTube, and also that way it's easier for you guys to watch. All right, we do have injuries set to low, but let's see. Richie Zisk, 3 weeks. Al Hrabowski, 1 to 2 weeks. Goose Gossage out for 4 months. Wow. Freddie Lynn, fractured ankle, 4 more months. Oof. All right, looks like the Red Sox are leading the way on the Tommy John deal. Enos Cabell, third baseman for the Astros. Good hitter with very little power. And they're going to pick up a pitcher. two pitchers, a young one, older one, and some cash. Oh, Tommy John's looking at the Reds as well. Juan Beniquez, 6 months with a fractured hip. Dale Murray, 7 months. Wow, there's some big injuries here. Let's see. Davey Lopes for Catfish Hunter, Yankees and the Dodgers. That's a big trade. You know, those two teams were going at it in the World Series around this time. So that's a interesting trade. Very interesting. Boston loses a player for 4 months. And Texas wants to send us a 34-year-old pitcher, getting Willie Wilson. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Willie, of course, I remember had a call up in 76, but he made his debut, his real debut, in 78, and 79 is kind of when he broke out. 83 stolen bases that year, yeah. So 79 is when he comes into play. I think he played right field for him, and he looks like he's going to be a good hitter. Not much power, but yeah, I'm not. So they want 2 players for Cesar Tovar. Yeah, I that ain't happening. We're going to reject that. All right, and we are getting close to opening. Well, this is the opening day break here. So there's my timer. So we're going to go ahead and put a cut in here. When we come back in the next video, we'll kind of walk through getting our 25-man roster set and maybe shopping a few players that are taking up some space on our roster, and see where we're going to go. We'll get into the top 100 list. But hey, thanks for watching. We're going to go ahead and cut here, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Take care.